Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what part of the world you are in. This is Big Girl Diary. Okay. Now, I came across something, Mary Lou Retton. I don't know how many of you know who she is. She was Olympic champion back in the 1980s. I believe it was 1980, 1981. And she brought home the gold. She had tens on almost any and everything which she touched. And I remember it. I used to run down the street like this. Yeah, because she would do her twist, her bolts, or whatever it was, and do this. Well, it just so happened now she's 55 and she was in ICU, and her two daughters crowdsourced some money to help pay for her mother's hospital bills, for their mother's hospital bills. So that we're going to get into that. Eve Barlow and Amber Heard. I thought that was over, but I found a post that Eve Barlow wrote that makes me understand her a little bit more. Just when you think you understand her, no, you don't. You don't understand her. No, you don't. And also Esme Bianco. Eh, 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 There are no words for her. I mean, she is one of those people, and this is simply my opinion. Okay, we're allowed to have opinions, right? She's one of those people that you got to stop and think and say, what? This is one of those moments. Okay, it seems like now, after the Game of Thrones ended in 2019, what does she do? She sues Marilyn Manson, gets some money. Now she has no money because she blew through it. Now she is like, well, I have no money. Game of Thrones, I thought that was going to last forever. Let's get into it. Oh, before I begin, please like, subscribe. Subscriptions are for free. Please, if you want to donate, please do that. Cash at me at Big Girl Diary or on PayPal at Big Girl Diary. Please help me out. Okay, let's get into this. This is really something. Now, Mary Lou Retton, now her two daughters, I thought it was a very, very interesting. Wait a minute, where's the article at? Okay, wait a minute. This is not supposed to be happening like this. Okay. Now, Mary Lou Retton recovers. Her daughters were able to get $459,000, $324 in donations. And her family won't say how the money is being spent. Okay, look, you're over the pocket watching. You're pocket watching. Now, if they put out a crowdsource to help their mother, I don't know what happened in her life. I don't know if what happened to her husband. I'm not sure. But the thing is this, McKenna Kelly, that's Mary Lou Retton's daughter, who posted a crowdsource requesting for her mother that she received that reached up to 459,324, that an exclusive interview with USA Today Sports that she and her sister never expected to get that much money from the public. Of course, look, we Americans can be complete and utter jerks. Yes, we are. However, we're also very giving people. We help people. You have that good story and you get us, we give out the money, right? But Mary Lou Retton, her daughters, the money $459,324. Listen to this. I don't know if that's ignorant of us, if that we was just sweet, said Kelly, who's 26, that was not supposed to be the big media thing. Now, their mother is a world Olympic champion. Even though it was 40 years ago, it doesn't matter. You see this kids like me running down the street like that. Now, Mary Lou Retton, who won the women's gymnastics individual all around gold medals in 1984, okay, 1984, in Los Angeles, was released from the hospital late October after a week-long stay, which she was fighting for her life with a very rare form of pneumonia, Kelly posted on Instagram at that time. So on October 30th, Retton wrote on Instagram that she was with family continuing to slowly recover and staying very positive, as I know this recovery is a long and slow process. She repeated, she repeated, asked repeatedly by the US Today Sports to comment, Retton has declined. Now, she just said that she's having a slow recovery. Having a slow recovery. And by her having a rare form of pneumonia. Now, this is wild. This is wild. Now, after when they get the money, right? The donations skyrocket after Kelly's surprising Instagram announcement about her mother, one of the most recognizable names in US Olympic history. Very true. She was not able to breathe on her own, Kelly said in October 10th. She said, or she's been in ICU for over a week out of respect for her and her or for her and her privacy. I will not disclose all details. However, I will disclose that she is not insured. Oh, wow. Wow. So you know where all the money went. Now, this right here can go into so many different facets. So many different facets. Okay, she's not insured. Olympic gold medalist, known throughout, and she's not insured. And her family, her daughters, had to do a GoFundMe. This makes me want to just go and is Mary Lou Retton married? Because this right here has me like, she divorced. Oh man. Okay. Okay, Mary Lou Retton divorced. Why did she split with her husband? And who was she married to? Oh man, Mary, why? Although Mary Lou Retton was voted off Dancing with the Stars. Okay, that right there, Dancing with the Stars is like when famous people are trying to come back in to the limelight to get some attention, possibly endorsements, and that's a way to sort of like make some money. Whether if you're you had some politicians and family members of politics from all walks of life, but that's what they do. Now, when did she divorce? Okay, in her video package that aired before her final dance, she revealed that she had never told the world that she and her husband of 27 years divorced last February. Wow. In a conversation with the dance partner Sasha Ferber, she told how the split had been tough for her. Now, I'm not sure, they're not saying, but they met in 1984 and they got married in 1990 and they got a divorce 27 years later. So, whatever the reasons why they got a divorce, okay, it is possible they wanted to keep the divorce out of public eye because it was hard on the family, the kids who had, but I'm sorry, but who is Shannon Kelly, Retton ex-husband. He's a former American football quarterback. I don't know if you know who he is with the Texas Longhorns. So why does she not have? I don't. I'm not getting it. Why does Mary Lou Retton have to GoFundMe or a crowdsource and she has no health care and her husband, ex-husband, is a football player? What's going on there? Why doesn't she have any money? But she doesn't. Now, here, now they're pocket watching her. Now they are pocket watching her. They're saying, man, they're really going there on her. When told of the insurance agent contact USA Today Sports found two plans charging $540 and $680 per month, which someone with her mom's medical history could qualify. Kelly said that Retton had once been covered by health insurance because she had, excuse me, she was not able to work or give speeches for 2 years due to the pandemic. She gave up her insurance. Retton was about to get health insurance again, but didn't because she got sick. Oh, it gets worse. Sheesh. Retton remained popular in the Olympic circles with a speaking fee is believed to be around $25,000. Whoa. She and um, her husband, former University of Texas quarterback Shannon Kelly, divorced after 27 years of marriage. Okay. So it looks like that she just simply struggling on top of struggling. Struggle. Okay. So let's get into the pocket watching. Now, this is quite interesting. Okay, now after when her daughters posted the Instagram post and then crowdsourced for the money, nearly 2 weeks ago on October 10th, this right here just happened recently last year in October. Kelly posted that Retton 55 and had a rare form of pneumonia. ICU. Kelly, a former gymnast, and you at LSU announced that her family was accepting donations to go from okay, that came up to 450. I already said that. Um, when asked about more details about Retton's health and financial situation, including where Retton was hospitalized, representatives of the family said Retton's daughters preferred to keep the information private. Oh, oh. Their pocket. Okay, now this is a little bit different because you went to the public, girls. You went to the public. You told everyone that your mom is sick. She has a rare form of pneumonia, and everybody knows about it. So all the money came up to like 400, but now you want to be quiet about it. But you went to the pub. That's why people are asking. And her ex-husband, that's something. That's a complete mess. That is a messy mess. Who knew Olympic champions got into messes like that? Now, just when you think that we're done with Amber Heard, ah, aha, aha ha ha. Amber Heard. I mean, she will not go gentle into that good night. She rage against the dying of the light. She is going to make sure that no one forgets her. Now, what really caught my eye that really made me think, like, come on, Eve, haven't you learned a doggone thing? Haven't you? Did you learn one thing? Eve, did you not learn one thing from that experience with being with Amber Heard? You didn't learn anything from Amber Heard. Eve, you didn't learn anything from being in Israel in a hotel, being demolished in the hallway. You don't remember that? Eve, you don't remember that. Well, they're back at it again. They were seeing, where were they seeing? Let me go ahead and clear Mary Lou Retton out. That's some wild stuff. Mary Lou Retton. Oh, that is wild. Okay. Now, this is after everything that had occurred, Johnny Depp, all that stuff. All right. Amber's trying to sell her home in the Yucatan Valley, hide her assets, not having a residence, so that the insurance company couldn't find her and say, you better pay, we're dropping you. I mean, all types of stuff. While Eve Barlow was like, okay, Amber, let's go ahead and go to the real country. But before we do that, let's go to Australia. Now, I thought that was quite interesting. I thought Eve at one point was trying to set her up. I really thought that Eve was trying to set Amber up, because at that time, Australia was looking for Amber because they wanted to possibly put her in the clink clink because of her lying to them and bringing that animal in, and without it going through proper inspection. And I thought it was like, that's a little bit, frivolous, until I really looked into it. And I'm thinking, okay, I get it. You got to quarantine the animals. You got to make sure they're not bringing in any type of diseases. Because, people from different places have different types of bacterias, viruses, whatever it is, and you don't know what the dogs are doing, and you bring that to a different country, it can cause problems. Okay, that makes sense. So I thought that maybe Eve was trying to do that. Then I'm like, nah, she got somebody beautiful, and she's going to most definitely milk that. But when she got to the I country, it was totally, how can I say, a bus of, if you get my drift, if you get it. She was DV'd in a hallway in the hotel. All right. Now, I don't know. But here, okay, it says although she was barred from attending she was barred from attending the trial. Because she was sitting there tweeting everything that was going on while the trial was going on. So, okay, where's what I wanted to get at? Where is it? Okay. Okay, I don't want not her. All right, okay. I copied the wrong thing and I deleted it. That's the wrong thing. But I did get something rather interesting about Eve. This is very interesting. Like I said, just when you think that you know who Eve Barlow is, you realize you don't. She is something completely different, right? And she wrote this back in 2020, last year, about a year and a half ago. This is interesting. She says, "This year tested my limits. It made me face myself in ways I never had the opportunity to do so." I thought that was interesting. That first statement right there, that second sentence, it made me face opportunities in ways I have had not had the opportunity to do so. Okay, who's running around looking for opportunities to be with Amber to be? I mean, but hey, to each its own. One thing I defiantly, I'm sorry, defiantly confirmed for me is that if you tell me I can get closer to X through doing Y, I will do Z. I'm not a contrarian. I just do not like setting out on a path for an end result. Eve, that makes no sense. No, it doesn't. Just like I said, just when you think you really understand someone, you realize you don't. So to get closer to with somebody wants to get closer to someone and doing X will get you closer, but then let me read it again. I don't want to mess it up. I just don't set out. Wait a minute. Wait. Let me go back up. I'm sorry. Well, I could get closer to X through doing Y. So I do Z. I'm not a contrarian. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You are a contrarian. You just want to be difficult for simply being difficult. Now, I'm just like, okay, so going back to the scenario of being in the I real country and they're in the hallway. So what exactly led up to the whole DV? What led up to that? Because Amber has a very short fuse. I mean, Johnny could sneeze and you know. So I could by Eve just doing something completely different makes you wonder about some things. So it tested her limits. Oh, most definitely. Okay, I just do not set out on a path for end results. Well, that doesn't make any sense because I set out on a path because it's the path I chose to blaze. And if that is not your path, then you can't control the most important or the significant outcome of your actions. Okay. You have to ride the wave of the popular reaction, having confidence that you were correct, and one day the rest will catch up with you. You can't work with you can't work with the rules you've been given if they don't protect you. You have to make your own. Okay. I don't know if that made any sense to you. Truly, I don't know. I know that right there is like out there type of stuff. It's like listening to people in a coffee shop in a hippie whippy coffee shop, and then you hear people saying, "Well, okay, one thing, I, the, okay, for me, that is if you tell me I could get closer to X through doing Y, I will do Z. I'm not a contrarian. But just don't set out on a path for an end result. No, don't do that. I set out on a path because it's the path I chose to blaze. And if if that is your path, then you can't control the most important or significant outcome of your actions. You just have to ride the wave on the popular reaction, having confidence that you were correct. And one day, the result will catch up with you. What kind of weed were you smoking? I mean, that right there was some powerful weed to come up with something like that. That right there is something like somebody back in the 60s was sitting there saying, hey, check this out. Check this out. If someone tells me to do X to get closer to Y, I'm going to do Z. You can't make this shite up. You can't make it up. Oh my goodness. Look, okay. I kind of feel sorry for Amber a little bit. I kind of feel sorry for her. I mean, just like Amber's talking about, well, Johnny, he fooled the world by having scissors on his hands. I could only imagine how those conversations were going. It might have been like listening to Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie having a conversation. Hey, check out one of their videos called The Simple Life. Okay. Look. I found this, and this is her writing, and I found it on Substacks, and she calls it blacklisted. Uh, uh, but okay, I'm not paying for that. I just read as much as I could. I just thought it was quite interesting, and but I don't know if Eve and Amber are back together. That was back in October. So who knows? But that right there is some wild stuff. Just like I said, just when you think that you understand Eve Barlow, you don't. It's something completely different. And then she said that and then she says that she's not a contrarian. Yes, you are. You just simply dis, you simply disagree for the sake of disagreeing because you can disagree. You can't make that up. You can't. Let me take this off. That right there is completely and utterly wild. But the last one, oh man, oh man, oh man. Esme Bianco. Now between Amber and Esme, I think Esme is going to start doing more wild stuff. Watch. Esme is a burlesque dancer. She's an actress, and I believe she was also in a band. I think she played a guitar, if I'm not confusing her. Here's the interesting part. Very interesting. Esme met Marilyn Manson through his wife. Um, oh my goodness, Dita, and that's how some of these people met Marilyn Manson. And I'm pretty sure if Dita were to go back in time, she would have never introduced those heifers to her husband. I'm telling you. I am telling you. Well, I still got this thing on. So after the Game of Thrones, as I stated earlier, after the Game of Thrones, they killed her off. Now I didn't watch. I watched a little bit of the Game of Thrones. I thought it was quite okay. Even though I like stuff like that, I do. I like stuff back in that time in England, the castles, the kings and queens, the battle, the treachery, the intrigue, the drama. All of that is really exciting, and especially gets into the history because I love history. It gets into the history of it, and if you know history, then you can say, "Oh, okay, all right, oh, okay, I see how the." But Esme did not do right by her money. Now, this right here is where karma kicks you in your face, and karma kicked in her face big time because she left England because she what left England. She was doing. I'm sorry, she was doing some modeling in Thailand. Her husband was in England, so she would go back and forth. She comes over and meets Marilyn Manson. Fast forward, Game of Thrones ends. Next thing you know, everybody is starting to file suit against Marilyn Manson. When she filed suit the first time, they kicked it out. But then she won the right. Well, she sued him again because she had they dismissed it without prejudice, which means that she could come back and sue again, which she did. And I guess he just said, "Look, you're a damn nuisance. Take this money and go." Well, it seemed like that money has gone through because she's been looking for jobs. She's been trying to make money, and she's been having a difficult time. A difficult time doing so. Now, who's going to trust her? Esme. Who's going to trust you? Because when you look at what you said in your declaration, when you look at what you said, it sounds crazy. It sounds cray cray. It does. And to me, it lacked a whole lot of credit. Okay. You said that he took you to an apartment to where he held you captive. I wish I was on another thing. Then I would show the pictures of his apartment that he had, which she said that he held her captive and that he didn't feed her. You're responsible for feeding yourself when you were over there doing those shoots. He's not supposed to feed you. Come on, this is outrageous. You don't ask your boss to buy you food. He's paying you to do a job. You pay for your own food. So now she's talking about suing him again because now she's saying that he's keeping her from gaining employment. Don't you think that maybe people are scared, especially men, are scared to even hire you, to even basket weave? If you came up with that, you came up with him trafficking you to bring you over. Oh my goodness. Imagine what you may come up with some other guy that employs you. Just let your boyfriend, you better hold on to him, get him to marry you because you're done. Who's going to trust you? Just a thought. Just a thought, Esme, just a thought. But I mean, I just found that quite interesting. I found it very, very interesting. You can't make this stuff up. All of this is wild. Mary Lou Retton, her daughters do a crowd fund. They got $452,324, and then they're like, "Well, we want our privacy," but you brought all that to the public. Then Mary Lou Retton divorced her husband, or I don't know how they got a divorce. What happened? Who filed the paperwork? What happened? didn't have health insurance. Oh, that's a mess, a big mess. Amber Heard and Eve Barlow. Oh my goodness, the two of those doilies together, just oh my goodness, chaos. And Esme Bianco can't get a job. I would strongly suggest you apply for jobs only with women in it, because men are not going to trust you. Nope, not coming up with that. But on that note, please like, subscribe, share. Put something down in the comment section. On that note, I want to thank you for stopping by.